But
So
also making sure that they don't get too comfortable. We want to make sure that they look good on the camera. They're not thinking about it, but they are thinking a little bit about going into it, what their on-screen presence looks like, knowing that they're going to be recorded for a long time. This is going to be out there, and making sure that the environment is set up for them properly so they don't have to think about going through and doing a lot of tweaks and things like that, that they can really walk into the space and it is set up for them properly. So some good things that I've seen that have been problematic in the past is the institution doesn't have a formal plan or strategy for deploying distance education programs. Post-COVID, as we're going through this, I mean, this has opened up a lot of eyes to people. So I think they've kind of had to delve into it feet first and just get into it. But now we can step back and start looking at what were the mistakes that happened and how can we use this, capitalize this in the future, making sure that there is a plan, that there's a unified and a consensus on how to deploy this appropriately, how you're going to store the content, how you're going to distribute it, what is the content portal and searching, indexing, and engines for students and staff to be able to access and search and utilize that content, and making sure that that plan has a lot of different elements into it that builds on what is the architecture of the room, as Randy noted, and how what is the cost that's associated with it? What is the reoccurring operational costs? And making sure that there is a plan for that, including etiquette and lots of different elements. And to add on to what Randy's saying, I think it's also, as the instructor is looking at what kind of content you're pushing into that, making it accessible, because not every classroom is going to have a digital director that's going to be able to manage the content and be in sync with the instructor. Making sure that the controls are easy enough to bring up and allow the instructor to be able to quickly and easily bring up different content, whether they're doing an online poll for the students to engage some interaction with them, or using one of the overhead visualizers or a desktop visualizers to bring up real-time content in a lab environment or what have you. And then looking at the size of the sessions, breaking these sessions into smaller sessions to hold their attention a little bit more in this kind of generation where we're looking at for quick content rather than a long 2-hour, 1-hour session, maybe, or having it indexed where you can break it apart, as Randy noted, where you can easily reverse back, look at the content that's relevant to you, and then move on. I think it goes back to having a strategy going back, because what you don't want is people coming up and taking and recording it via Zoom and then posting it to their Google Drive because the school doesn't have another platform, or they're not aware of the other platform, because then you're getting into data privacy issues, you're getting into legal issues. I'm going to go back to etiquette. I think just not the visual etiquette, but also audio etiquette. Just how the presenter is talking, the language that they're using, knowing it's going to be recorded. I've seen some bad examples of this, and making sure that they know that they're representing the institution that they're putting this out. So making sure that what they're saying is appropriate for the students and representing the school. I also wanted to throw other thing in that we didn't really talk about on the content, which was closed captioning, and making sure that that's considered as well as an option for final publication.